I want to talk to you about clip channels and striking, because that's a big topic. And I know we have talked offline and we have some differing opinions than a lot of people, apparently. Apparently, our opinions are, and your opinion might not be exactly the same as mine, but for some reason, it's a little bit controversial, apparently, that clips or clip shows don't really interest us all that much. What would you say to that, Adam, Mr. Hughes?
I'm sticking to it. It's like I like the Penny and the Big Dork show, or should I say, I watched it recently while it was on live. And once they start going into the clip stuff, I just think, okay, I'll try and catch a repeat because I just find that shit boring. And also, we're getting to the point now where it seems like the elder crowd have become aware of the ability to copyright strike. So it's the YouTube's terms of service, which they always fucking say without actually understanding YouTube's terms of service.
Yeah, and the other thing too is not only are they striking, but now apparently it's fair game to be doxing people's families and having people go after and harass your significant others, your family members. Not even as like not one thing to joke about it, but it's another thing to just kind of just like throw it out there. So apparently, if you go on certain shows now, it's fair game to tell people, broadcast to people where all your family lives and works, and that's apparently cool now with certain people. So
I just hate the fact that there's people out there who take it seriously. Like we're both speaking of the 90s, we were both wrestling nerds growing up.
Oh yeah.
We were never like, I'm telling you right now, Dan, if I see someone out there supporting Kane while he's in this feud with Steve Austin, I'm going to beat the shit out of him. And I'm going to dox all these Kane fans and people, they're going to know about it. The fact that we have people taking the Dabbleverse feud seriously, especially when you then see all these people at like the Rodney's gig and they're immediately shaking hands and telling jokes and taking photos and all this stuff. It's like, it's not real. These people, like there's nobody in the Dabbleverse that I hate. There's people that I don't like, but that actually say, "Oh, I fucking hate them," and this feud's never ending. Like, no, like, and if you believe there's a feud going on, and if you're out there taking sides and obsessing over a Dabbleverse, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's the wrong decision, but that's just little old me.
Yeah, that's the thing that I don't get with people is they take it very personal when you're having fun. We're funning around, but certain people who are the good guys to some people are the ones that are the thinnest skinned. So it's funny how that works out sometimes. That to use a '90s wrestling term, some of these people that think they're working are actually working themselves into shoots. They're marks.
Yeah, but it's mostly the fanboys, because I think that there's a lot of like MLC fans who have got it convinced into their head that Lady K is a bad person. Carl's just and I saying this like respectfully, it's like a nerdy guy who likes to roast shows, which in turn, but so Carl can roast Opie's show, and people are like, "Oh, he's just joking." But if he roasts like MLC, they're like, "This piece of shit, he's cheating on his wife and he's gay at the same time." And it's like,
he's a flamer, but he's banging Lucy on the road,
Yeah. Typical gay guy having sex with all these women behind his wife's back.
Wait a second. I'm sorry, I got the wrong one. Rochi for 8. Well, this is the only free one we'll put up for you, Rochi. Next one you're gonna pay for it. It's almost like Hughezy and Dan changed their opinion to save face, kayfabe. No, my opinion evolves, and I'm not beholden to an opinion, and I can listen to differing opinions, and I'm not on a team. That's the problem with a lot of these people. They're very team oriented. So if you're on the team, you got to go along with whatever the team says, and you can't really have your own opinion if you're team. It's all about what jersey you're wearing. If you're wearing the WATP jersey, or you're wearing the MLC jersey, or you're wearing the Melton jersey, you got to kind of go along with whatever the marching orders are. But
Yeah,
not all of us wear a jersey.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, my opinions changed too. I'll admit it. It was up. It was up until about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was editing late, and Stuttering John's show was on, and I thought, "Fuck, I haven't watched this in ages." So I just stuck it on the pewter, which is a hilarious way of saying computer. Everybody's laughing. Hit the like button for laughter.
We got to get a Hughezy translator. We got to get like almost like closed captioning for a lot of the American audience struggles with some of your work. I can understand everything you say, but some people they
Fuck
struggle.
'em. But they, yeah, and I was watching the Stuttering John thing, and I was laughing my head off, and I thought, "Fuck, this shit's actually pretty funny." It doesn't mean I would watch it every day, but I enjoyed what I did see.
That's about Hughes. Oh, Rochi says Hughezy is English. I said I wouldn't put up another Rochi, but speaking of Rochi, and we're not a clip show, and we'll talk a little bit more about some clips, but I have to just play Echo here because this came up today. Now you saw I think one of these.
Yeah, it was like a music video or something.
Yeah, so he did this wacky music video, this hype video for Hackamania. He's really excited about Hackamania. I mean, he's going to be doing some crazy stuff, but I just there was one part when I went through this. So he has like a Peggy and the Big Dork AI thing. And he has this weird, the way he does the AI, it almost turns it into like, almost like a pencil drawing or something. I don't know what the deal is. It's very weird. But then there was a very interesting part. Well, there's Bachman, of course. You got to get a Bachman playing the bubble craps there, of course. Get one of the fat guys eating a taco. And then, oh, look at who this is. Are you and Granny gonna kiss and make up in Vegas, do you think?
No. I mean, like, I don't even hate Granny. Like, I'll just not be around him.
What do you think about the whole? What about Granny? Do you have a problem with? Is it kind of how you think he's sort of fucked over Lemmy, or what's? I mean, I know you probably don't want to get too involved in that whole situation, but what's your biggest gripe with Granny?
Well, no, it's just the way that it used to really piss me off how he was able to make up all these accusations and say all this shit, and everybody ran with it as fact. And you just think, why? Like, based on what evidence do you have? Is this not to be believed? And I just thought, like, is he really the type of person who his own family wouldn't support him when he was homeless? Like, is that because he was too generous? Was he such a nice? So you can't come live with us while you're homeless. You're too nice. So
I'm gonna let you live in a shed.
Yeah,
well,
you can rent your boss's shed because we can't have you making us look bad with your great personality. And then also, that whole story about the missing the first day of school. His story changed too many times for my liking. Where it's like, hang on, so they give you the wrong address and you turned up late. So why would it matter if it was the right address? You were there late.
Yeah.
And that whole thing, I just think, like, it's fucking. I always say, like, you need to hear two sides of the story, and then it's a little bit of both.
And one last thing, I just had to show you because this popped up earlier today, like about an hour before we were going to go live, and I watched this, and I think we talked about it, and I know you like Echo, and he's fine with me. You know, he's got kind of that weird, snarky British humor sense to him, but he is really all in on this fucking Hackamania, and on top of that, he's all in on Dabbleverse and growing his show and finding a way to like make money and do little things. this kind of made me feel a little weird when I watched this before. Have you seen this? His newest thing now, his newest grift with the roulette wheel.
No, not since the music video.
All right, let's play this. It's relatively short.
Hi there, my name's Echo, and I've got a show this Saturday, 3 o'clock Eastern. We're going to be paying a homage to Hughezy and celebrating the roulette that I'm going to waste all my money on in Vegas.
He keeps talking. This is the thing I want to ask you too. He keeps mentioning you, that he's like paying homage to you and he's taking ideas from you. And I can't really, I don't understand what he's talking about. Like what is he taking from you that he's paying homage to?
I have no idea, but there was a thing. So a couple of weeks ago, I did this thing on the show where I said I would literally let people buy the link, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
Like if you send 20, you can come on for 20 minutes or whatever. And it didn't work out because your guy Beef Drippings came on and went on this like anti-trans rant against Ava. I thought it was going to be like a debate, so it was kind of awkward. And Echo couldn't get over that. The fact he was like, so if you send the link to Granny, will Granny come on? And it's like, yes, but that means he would have to have $10 to be able to donate, which he doesn't. Hence the point. And he couldn't get over the fact about that. And then he keeps using the word ambush. And in that instance, he was right, because it completely backfired as what I thought it was going to be. It did turn out to be an ambush. And I felt terrible. It was Lemmy's fault.
Speaking of ambushes, Deb's here. Deb, did you feel like I ambushed you with John the other day when I talked about your?
Yes,
I talked about your. Let me play the audio if I can find it.
Big fucking tits.
Yes, I'm not going on Stuttering John's show. I have been asked for at least a year to go on there by.
Why not?
I don't have any interest in it. I don't have anything to say to him. I don't hate him.
Are you afraid of the blowback?
I just don't. I don't have an interest in it. And don't tell him I have big fucking tits. They're actually mediums. But if you tell him that, then if I did go on, he's going to be all slobbering about that and wanting to see it and all that stuff.
I know. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I wasn't even thinking. Obviously, I have that problem. Sometimes I talk when I should be.
No, that's okay. It's content, so that's okay. And speaking of tits, I'm going to show you my new shirt.
Oh, it's the Karmic X. Cunning Linguist shirt.
Yeah, it's the shirt I don't wear in public. No, I don't want to go on Stuttering John's show. I don't hate him like a lot of people do, but I don't have interest in it. I don't really have anything to say. And I'm going to be honest, Stan, you really nut glaze the shit out of him. Like, you're like a bobblehead. You're like, John, you're the greatest. And it's kind of comical, but even like people that are John fans have reached out to me and been like, what is up with Dan? This has got to be a troll. Is this a troll? Because he's really ball washing John.
Did I lay it on a little thick? Yeah, maybe I laid it on a little thick, but I am here to support John. And this will dovetail into some of the conversations that we have about the ecosystem, dabble verse 2.0, as I like to call it. I feel like the playing field is changing a little bit. That maybe what everybody accepted as the facts of the matter of what's going on isn't exactly what's going on, and that maybe there's more than one side to the story here. That I feel, and this is not nut glazing. This is like real talk. I feel that John has been unfairly targeted by people, and I feel like they've picked on him, they've bullied him, and they've gotten by relatively scot-free without any blowback. The Carls, the Shuleys, some other people, and they're as open to criticism as anyone. So, if they get a little bit of a turn in the barrel, I don't really feel that bad for them. So, yeah, did I lay it on thick? Yeah, but I'm rolling with John. I think John's on a fucking heater right now. I think John's getting wins.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about with Buckman, but I thought John held his own on the show, and Buckman kind of came in
Buckman does.
Buckman came in ready to go at John.
Yeah, Buckman does the playbook. I didn't watch it, but did Buckman do the loud volume to overpower people? Like Buckman has his kind of playbook.
Yeah, that one was. See, the issue with that is when people start arguing, I just sit back and enjoy it. Because
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
I loved that shit back in the O&A and Stern days. But what I didn't know is that John was on like a 60-minute time limit, and then with all the chats coming in, and there was no way I could get to it because they kept arguing and all this shit. But at the end of the day, to go with Dan was saying, that I do find Stuttering John funny, and maybe it's just because I haven't argued with him, and maybe you know the way when there's some people you don't like, there's nothing we can do. Like, oh, that fucking Jimi Hendrix guitar playing stinks because he's a dickhead. That's why I'm not saying Stuttering John's comedy's as good as Jimi Hendrix's guitar playing.
My thing is like I'm not tribal, so a lot of and Dan, you've brought this up that people are on these tribes. Well, if I like Shuli and Carl, I can't appreciate anything that John ever does. I can't like this one. I can't like that one. So I'm not tribal. I enjoy pretty much a lot of these shows from different camps. I do watch Shuli's show a lot. I watch other shows. I watch John. I do get a kick out of you with John. I do think it's a lot over the top, but I had messaged you and I said I was a little upset with you because I felt you had sort of thrown Chad under the bus. So you traded in Chad for John. And I feel like you can be loyal to Chad and like Chad and appreciate him and like John if that's your prerogative, even though those two don't like each other. And the same thing with Kumia. Like you were an O&A fan and a Kumia fan, and now you've totally flipped. And like I'm a Kumia fan, I'm going to stay a Kumia fan.
All fair, all fair, Deb. Unfortunately, when you put yourself into the Stuttering John camp, you're going to open yourself up, and it's really kind of John versus the world. So it's tough. It's tough. And yeah, Kumia was, I would listen to Anthony Cumia when I was a teenager, when I was in the car going to work and school and stuff. Like I go way back. They were in Boston when I was a teenager. So,
Right.
So yeah, there's the nostalgia there. But also you gotta, the artist, it's kind of like Michael Jackson. I love Billie Jean, but Neverland Ranch and Cumia, I love Compound and all that stuff, but Self-Cutting Girl, you have to kind of understand that
like
artist
he's
is
addressed
there.
that already. He's been open about that. He's addressed that. He's addressed Sue Lightning. He's addressed the Danny Brand thing. And if you talk to people that knew them personally, Danny Brand really pushed buttons and really, really was a wackadoodle. So Anthony, if anything, was honestly restrained.
Why does everything have to be a work? Why can't you just speak your mind? Yeah, we
right.
Sometimes you overindulge a little bit. Maybe I went a little over the top, but I believe what I say. I'm Team John. So for anybody that's waiting for me for the turn, it ain't happening.
But you were Team Chad, and you did the turn. You said the same thing about Chad. Why can't you be nice to Chad and John? And
Chad never reciprocated the way that John has reciprocated.
Reciprocated how? You mean by having you on, or in what manner?
Chad gave me, I'm going to have you on my show. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Hey, I got an idea. Let's do something together. He said it a million times. Never followed through on it once. Never went out of his way to reciprocate the support that I gave Chad. I was hurt. I was legit hurt that Chad took me for granted.
Dan, did you go to him and say, I'm hurt? Like before this, did you say, when are we going to do something? Like, what's going on? I'm kind of hurt that you're not like following up, and then you're not having me on or whatever.
I asked Chad a couple times. I said, so you've said, we're talking about doing something. Like, when are we going to do it? I've got some ideas. You have some ideas. And he just kind of yesed me to death. And I said, when are we going to do something? And it was just always kicking the can. And I'm not someone that you can kick the can on. You get one shot with me. And if you fuck it up, I'm moving on. I'm not going to sit around and wait for Chad to fucking get off his ass and do something that he says he's going to do. That's Chad's biggest problem.
I think
Chad needs to look at himself and follow through on things that he promises to do and ideas that he spits out and follow through on them. Karmic also has that same problem. These guys
I don't think they're go-getters. I think that's a personality flaw in a bit, but I don't think they're bad guys. I just think that Chad has said a lot of things that he wants to do, and maybe he lacks self-confidence. I'm not really sure, but I just feel like that's not a reason to throw him away. I thought you guys had a good dynamic.
I didn't throw Chad away. Chad threw me away.
Mm-hmm.
And don't have that's as simple as it is.
Okay.
That's what it is. Chad had an opportunity to embrace the Dan experience. I could have helped Chad so much. He knows it too. He's probably kicking himself because he knows I could have taken him to the top. But he dilly-dallied all the time that he had the opportunity. And he went in a different direction, and he did his stupid fucking Spider-Man shit and all the other hack bits that he did when he had a rock star ready to fucking hit cleanup for him.
Now I'm going to be devil's advocate. You're saying you'll take Chad to the top, but honestly, we're not on the top. I mean, to be fair, we're not at the top.
Here's the thing. I'm not Batman. I'm fucking Robin.
Okay.
And I know my place. I know I'm the second car on the John Express. But you know what? John is going to stack up so many fucking wins. He's already doing it. He's on a fucking heater right now. He's going to keep winning. As long as he's got me along for the ride, we're going to the fucking top. Cuz all John needed was someone, and Ava has also done this as well, to her credit, and Clay Dabbler in the past. He needs someone to build up his confidence, to be there, to be the rock behind him, so that when he goes up against all these other fucking clowns and their little hack clip shows and their panels, he needs someone that's going to be his advocate, that's going to support him. And I'm here to do it.
If anything, Dan, he's overconfident. He's not self-aware enough. He's delusional at times that he needs... In a way, what was great about Clay Dabbler was Clay Dabbler would kind of...
Clay Dabbler's too grounded. Too grounded.
That's
you're not going to go to the top. You need someone that's going to shoot for the top.
Because just puffing him up and nut glazing him and polishing his balls and doing all that stuff just makes him more pumped up. You want to make somebody better, you have
Clay
to
Dabbler has too
them.
Clay Dabbler has too low of a ceiling. Too low of a ceiling with Clay Dabbler. There's no ceiling where we're going.
Okay, I'll wait and see. I'm just, like I said, I beg to disagree right now. I'm enjoying it. Okay, I really am. But it seems over the top. As Salvatore M says, for $2. Thank you, Salvatore.
Did you watch? Did you see Kevin at all this week? Did you see MLC?
No, I don't watch it hardly anymore. I don't
okay,
have time to watch. Well,
or maybe the clips. But Kevin Brennan is losing his fucking mind this week.
All I know with Kevin Brennan is he's being a piece of shit to you by doxing your sister, and I don't know where that's going to get him. And I don't agree with doxing.
Apparently, he wants everybody to dox his wife now. I guess that's.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I mean, if you want to, do you have a clip? Do you want?
If you're going to attack my family, you're putting your wife on the table. So just know that. Know that, Kevin.
Right.
No, and I've got pictures of your wife. I know her phone number. I could put that out at any time. I'm not making a threat, but if you're going to fucking attack me, then all gloves are off. So just know that. Just know that when you go into a fucking mud fight with me, I fight dirty, bro. And I'm not going to put anything away. I'm not going to hold back on you if you're going to fucking attack me.
Well, I guess, you know what? Maybe he should ask Patrick Tomlinson, and maybe he should ask this lady in Milwaukee.
I would make him lose his fucking mind.
Mm-hmm.
So just take that for what it's worth.
Okay. Like I said,
how's it going, brother?
I think the glasses really piss people off, like they do.
They can't deal with it. Like, this is my look. Like, it is what it is. Everybody's got a fucking look, but I get under people's skin so much. I don't know what it is. What is it about me? There's nobody that watches the show. It's the least watched show in the Dabbleverse. I'm the least consequential person in the Dabbleverse, but for some fucking reason, I make everybody lose their fucking minds. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I got it. And other people don't have that. They don't have that skill. So it doesn't matter what the numbers are.
It's because you talk back and you don't just take it that people then get annoyed by that. Go, what the fuck? She's fighting back. And it's like, the fuck off then.
You can't push me and tell me. So negging works on some people. You can't neg me. You can't neg me into coming off of where I feel, what position that I'm in. In fact, if anything, it's just going to make me dig my heels in more. So you'll learn that eventually, because that's just how I fucking roll.
So you don't like naggers?
I don't like naggers. I won't bend the knee for anyone. So speaking of Buckman, with you were on with Stuttering John on that show with Aussie Guy and Will Heron, which I thought was awesome. I thought you guys did a great job. You didn't ball wash. You towed the line.
Yeah, can I just say the thing about that's like the episode for all these people who were there. Oh yeah, I was at the Sex Pistols debut gig, because you can't fucking find the episode and there's no coverage of it anywhere. like it's almost like it didn't fucking happen.
So what do you think about that? What's your theory on why it wasn't clipped or why people weren't talking about it?
Well, I'll be honest with you. So there's the gimmick of the Stuttering John is this ranting narcissist who can't handle criticism and he bombs and he's all this shit. I thought that on that episode or that stream, like, he was getting his balls busted, but he was joking about it and he was coming back and he admitted, I don't know if it's been clipped, where I said to him, your problem, Stuttering John's problem, is that he takes the bait. Like, I could say, hey, John, Dan said that he's going to burn your house down, and that's all the proof he needs. He goes, oh, really? Well, I know a lot of shit about Dan that I can fucking say. And you go, no, calm down. I was joking. And, but I thought it was good to see a more relaxed, natural joking side instead of always going like, here's the thing about my fucking enemies that do this. And like, no, just have fun.
Did Shmuel Buckman campaign to go on this when he knew that you were gonna have Stuttering John on? Did he reach out to you to say, like, will you let me come on with you? Did he reach out to you to do that, or was that your idea?
Well, technically, yes. He did say that if there's a spare seat, that he would take it. And I initially had said that.
And he specifically about the Stuttering John episode.
Yeah.
But so he campaigned for it.
Well, technically, yeah. But I said that Ava first, but she never got back to me. Okay. So I went to Buckman because because I knew that me and Lemmy were going to be drinking, and she doesn't drink very often. So part of me thought she's going to be fucked. So I thought, well, I'll need another one to be there if Lemmy is unconscious. But unfortunately, it turned into an argument.
Did you expect it to go off the rails?
Well, yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be an argument because one of the things I wanted him to really talk about was which feud he wanted to end. But then I didn't, because he wanted to see, at the end of the day, it was my fault as the host, because I was just sitting back trying not to take a piss, drinking during the show, when really and then there's all these chats were coming in. So I should have interrupted him and says, like, guys, come on, we've got to read these. And
what could Buckman have done better?
I think with Buckman, see, like, at the end of the day, I do like that the debate happened, because it's got people talking and people are going back and checking the episode out and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think that Buckman should maybe not, especially with the arguing stuff. Like, once you've given your opinion and someone thinks differently, you don't then need to argue with them just because they disagree. Because then you're just going to get in this fucking endless loop.
Okay.
Who do you think won between John and this? And then I'm sorry, Deb, you can ask.
Okay.
Who do you think won out of those two gentlemen in that little tit-a-tat?
Well, this is going to sound like I'm dodging the question, but I've never actually watched it back. But I would guess I'll probably go with Bachman simply because John left early. So I'll say I'm voting the Duck Man.
Okay.
I think if you bail in the middle of an argument, you kind of automatically lose. You don't have faith in your.
Now, what if I told John that he was on a time limit? What if the reason John left is my fault?
Why would you put him on a time limit? Just to shut Buckman up and shut it down?
Because I knew Buckman wasn't playing by the rules. Because I knew Buckman expected to go in there knowing everything about John and John not knowing about Buckman. So I coached John.
Okay.
And I also coached John to put a time limit on it to do 30 to 45 minutes, and then when he wants to bail, then bail. And sorry, Hughezy, I'm sure you don't want to hear that. That's maybe you're going to be mad at me, but no. I knew that John was walking into a trap. Buckman was trying to set a trap for John, and hence why I asked that question, because I knew that Buckman campaigned to do it. I knew that Buckman was using your show to boost his own clout, and so I wasn't gonna let John go in there.
Okay.
Go in there raw. I wasn't gonna let him raw dog it. So that's what John needs. John needs advocates that will do that. So when people think that, oh, Dan, you're a ball washer, no, I'm looking out for John's best interests.
Okay.
I'm gonna make John be as successful as he can be in this world. $2 at a time, or maybe $5 to $10 at a time. We'll see how it works. And he needs that. He needs someone that's going to give him that confidence. And I thought he came off good. He came in. I don't know about you guys. That seemed as lucid as I've seen John in a long time. He was in good spirits. He was very gregarious. He was trying to hit it off. And then of course Buckman was going to be confrontational. He waited a little bit, but I thought John comported himself pretty well for being in an environment where it was going to be adversarial.
Yeah, I thought it was ridiculous that the one time I couldn't get Stuttering John to drink was on St. Patrick's Day. like I have proof of an evidence where Lemmy drank more than Stuttering John. Like that actually happened this year, and I think, like, why me? What did I ever do? Like, I wanted him drugged, and that's why I wanted Ava on, because she likes the Steve Weisers. Going back to the early wrestling talk. So I had hoped that Ava would have been on, so there would have been a bunch of crazy cats getting absolutely shit-faced. Brennan is talking about how he's just going to stay on Rumble because YouTube keeps censoring him, and he's like, on Rumble I can play whatever I want. It's like, yeah, but that's the fucking problem. The fact that you keep playing shit that you don't own. How long is that you're gonna get away with that on Rumble? Like maybe this is the sign for you to, because the thing is, he could just do. I was gonna say do what I do. I do what MLC used to do, and that you would get 3 to 5 people on a show, and that's your episode, and talk about this happened, and this happened. Don't know why I picked that up. My phone's right beside the fucking thing. So just prep a show and topics, and he could still get the super chats in. Instead, he just wants to sit there in silence, eating, watching stuff, and it's like, that's boring. You're not doing anything and
it's not transformative.
Right.
Yeah, like YouTube's terms of service says you can't bootleg shit. Well, probably in other types of words. That's what he keeps doing. If you just stop doing that, you will be fine. Unless, my advice to Brennan would be, save the clip watching, sniping stuff for Rumble. Then come back on YouTube and do like the old school type MLC, because he's going to get shut down again. And I don't want anybody getting shut down. I hate the flagging and the reporting. But I said it before. It can be called justified. Like, I don't like it. but I get it.
I get it too. I don't like it. I don't condone it. But you have to add something to it. And I mean, Dan, I know I don't think you're a fan of Patrick Melton, but at least when he plays clips, he's adding commentary and the chat's interacting. And I think a lot of times he's funny. I think he does a good job.
And he's 100% transformative.
And 100%.
I've never said strike Melton.
No.
Melton does it the right way. That's fair use. The way Melton does it, like him or not like him, that's exactly what fair use is.
And even Shuley, okay, Shuley and Carl, they have commentary. Blind Mike, Kevin just plays it and he sits there and stares at it. And he got struck once already, and he should have said, "Well, I learned my lesson. Let me not do that. Let me add some humor to this. Let me pause it. Let me talk about it." I mean, the Clippers too, sometimes, there's been disagreements on the Clippers. They say, well, a lot of them aren't transformative. They just cut a section. I don't mind the Clippers because they're really not doing it live. So they're doing it kind of as a recap. And Anthony had said the same thing. Anthony won't strike anybody for clipping his show. Like if you go to censored, you can clip portions of his show. And I used to clip his show. I have another channel that I was clipping Kumia's stuff and Gavin. And I would only clip like highlights. So I would record the whole show, but then I would cut out the fluff and find like 10, 15 minutes that was relevant, that I thought was interesting. And they never had a problem with that. And Anthony said, if you clip my whole show, yeah, I'd have to report it, because that's paywalled content. But he doesn't care if people clip his show. It's advertisement. If you get clipped in, it's free advertisement.
Can I say something in agreement with Deb? And this is a point that I remember arguing with Carl about last year, where I'd said, "Oh, I don't want people clipping me. It takes away from the streams." I've been proven wrong about that, because I have since seen my streaming numbers go up, not like 100,000, but I have seen people say, "Oh, I didn't know you. I seen your clip on fucking Dirty Jersey or whatever." So it has started to help out. So I was wrong about that one. Lemmy told me to say it. There you go. Not my fault.
No, I understand. I remember when you were saying you didn't really like the people to clip your show, Hughezy. But like I said, in small doses, even if they clip the highlight, that what you see as the high point, it makes you want to see what led up to it. It makes somebody new learn about you, and it makes people want to see the whole, maybe the whole thing, maybe not, but what came before and what came after. What was the context? How was this resolved?
Yeah, and how are they going to address it on their next stream? Maybe I won't wait for Stallion or fucking Dirty Jersey. No, there is a Stallion 19.
Yeah, Stallion 19, Jersey, Doom. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm not going to wait for them to clip it. And it's even got to the point now where I will message So Thorough and Doom, and I'll say to them, "Hey, I've got this person coming on tomorrow. Is there anything you would like me to ask about in case it leads to a potential clip for you?" Right. So it does all work out in the end eventually. Thank you, everybody.
I just wanted to kind of like just sort of end on kind of one last topic of just the state of the Dabbleverse and sort of what you see. I don't, kind of maybe almost like a Game of Thrones analogy. Like, who do you see as sort of the centerpiece of the Dabble